Good day, Lords and Ladies. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Now we are back, as you can see, because the third episode is out. The final episode for Citizen Sleeper is out now for Purge, and well, I'd like to finish off the story that we started with our character. I know it's only just put down the game only a couple of weeks ago, but this is the reason I was sort of filling my channel with like reviews and stuff because I knew this was coming. And I really wanted to basically finish it off. Go to the Greenway to begin the series and discover the future for the eye yourself. Here we go. I do really like this game. It's not perfect. There's one or two little things I wish they had improved in it, like returning characters would be nice. But yeah. Let's see what we have. So we're all stocked up. Everything's good to go. And now he's to go across to the Greenway. Clamber, gather evidence. So he's gathering evidence for that. That's nothing we can go and do. I think we can't do anything else. Wastes. The Avery. Farm stock. There's nothing here in the vision that we can see. Okay. Then I think what we'll do as we wait for the timer to tick around is I think we will... We need spores if we want to do that. So we need to basically get... Yeah, let's get some spores. And that was unfortunate. I was hoping for a slightly better result. Okay. Go here. Get the seed beds or spore beds up and running. Get that going. And then we'll go to the wastes. And as we're in the wastes, we will get some scrap components just to continue keeping our condition tided over. Okay. That done. Let's end the cycle. Man, that's not a great dice roll. Let's keep our condition high. Money-wise, we're okay money-wise. Spend money. No. Let's save a bit of money. Can't do anything yet. So let's go across. The trader's back. So for the time being, it's money for scrap. That's fine for me. Okay, so his thing is loaded out. So if we want to, we can go to the fabricator put that in. Get a hive brain out of it, which we could sell if we wanted to. We're okay cash-wise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the wastes. And get more components. Let's try for it. Loss of energy is fine. I don't mind that. I can always just sleep, rest, the hope down. I mean, to be honest, if I wanted to, yeah, just do a work assignment. There we go. Energy comes back up. And let's end the cycle. Okay. Sleeper. Peaky is waiting for you in the corridor. It's time. Peaky looks pale and dishevelled, with heavy marks under his eyes and strands of hair sticking to his face. What? He smiles weakly. Nice try, but we can't dodge this. Peaky holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. All the data I have compiled on the flux event, the effects of the wave, the structures that hid within it, it's on here. You look at the tiny drive, a casket of dark secrets. I've annotated it to the best of my abilities. Everyone should be able to understand the threat, the potential in this. Peaky sighs. It makes for grim reading. Without intervention, the Eye will suffer a cascade collapse of the systems, just like the colonies of Ember's moons. You're sure, you say. Peaky grimaces, as I can be. The evidence all points in one direction. Peaky looks at the drive. This shadow in the flux, this protocol, is so hard to pin down. It adapts to any countermeasures I've tried to deploy. It's like trying to hold water in a cage. It slips through it straight through. There has to be a way, you say. Peaky closes his hands around the drive. We need help, Sleeper. This is above anyone on this station, they sigh. We have to set up a meeting to tell someone who can do something about it. So? That's right, Helena. Perhaps, Peaky pauses, if anyone can protect the Eyes, Havanage, but their internal politics will make it hard for them to act. Will they even listen to us? Or perhaps, Peaky adds thoughtfully, we've been thinking about this all wrong. Peaky's eyes glint. Why make a choice when we can tell both of them? Why pick a side when the only side in this entire thing is the one we all need to take? Peaky speaks as they think, their words barely keeping pace with their thoughts. We need to resist together, or we will fail. We need everyone on board, Sleeper. Peaky smiles. This is the only way. We send the data to both. You're right, you say. Yeah, he's right. A house divided will fall. A house united will stand. Peaky smiles. I'm glad you see it too. They look away. Another flux event is coming. I'm sure of it, and I'm not sure we can survive without help. Peaky opens the hand and holds the drive out for you to take. You need to do this, Sleeper. I can't. You know Soul. You know Helena. They trust you. To them, I am just another spacer, but you are part of this place. Hearing someone else say it hits you hard. You are part of the Eye. Peaky is right, but right now this feels more like a weakness than a strength. I have set up a data relay at the cordon. It's neutral ground. Take the data and send it out to Havanage and the flotilla. Once they receive it, they will come. We can be sure of that. You will meet them there and talk them through it all. No one can do a better job. They tuck a strand of hair behind their eyes. Behind their ear. Come with me, you say. Peaky pauses. I can't. It would only draw suspicion on you. Havanage wants nothing to do with us, and Soul is paranoid at best. Peaky tentatively puts a hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Sleeper. I know this is hard, but we have to move forward. We can't keep this to ourselves anymore. We step back, looking thin and pale in the half station light. Come talk to me once it's done, and they slip away into the eye. Okay. So stuff just got really real. We need to basically throw down some money to get some food in us. I'm not going to go across the station unless I have to, because it takes time. We got the mushrooms and stuff to produce stuff. We have enough medicine for our condition if stuff that's really bad. Okay. So this is the beginning of the Purge chapter. We've got 2 points. We can either save it to get a +1 on there, or we get hard to kill. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking, which is not a thing I really care about. Well, the +2 would be nice. I'm saving up to get 3 to get to basically interference up. So let's go. Warning, final episode. Once you send the data episode Purge and the final series of events on the eye will begin. At this point you will need not be able to return to the complete other drives or find other endings. Make sure you are ready. Yeah, we're ready. Let's do it. PKey's relays lie ready. This is it. This is the data. It's a ticking time bomb. Once it is sent, there is no going back. Let's go. With the data sent, the only thing to do is wait. As you do, you imagine Helena receiving the data, perhaps in the middle of some Havenage council meeting. You think of her trembling hand as she slips out of the room to read it. Her reaction you can't predict. Imagine Sol too, one of his crew, finding him in some corner of the Pilgrim Seed, overseeing the modifications that return it into an arc. Those sharp eyes scanning the data, looking for a way to proceed. The wait draws out, and to pass the time, you watch the activity beyond the edge of the eye. The scrap sutters pulling components from the now abandoned cordon, and the supply skiffs making runs between the flotilla ships. It isn't long before you hear the chippering of one of Helena's newly familiar droids approaching the viewing platform. Then Helena herself strides into the room. Where did you get this, sleeper? Helena holds up a slate scrolling with streams of flux data as she enters. I need to know your source. Hello to you too, you say. A friend. You seem to have a lot of friends, sleeper. Helena raised an eyebrow. But I need this data authenticated. I just can't. She pauses and pushes the hair back out of her face. This is a lot to take in. A shadow protocol inside the flux. The system's CAN channel starting up. A total collapse of the eye. She rubs her forehead. If I bring this to the council, she turns well. They'll believe you, you say. She laughs. Do you know what has been happening within Havenage, sleeper? She looks away out at the flotilla. Since the refugee ships started arriving, things have changed. It's chaos. No one can settle on a single issue. There is division at every vote, but in the division, only one group prospers, the hardliners, because as each councillor gets tired of the arguments, gets tired of the compromise, they become more and more attracted to the easier answer. The flotilla is to blame, the refugees are opportunists, the eye must defend. She shakes her head. And now you're telling me they've brought something to the eye that will cause it to collapse. They didn't bring it, you snap. It doesn't matter, sleeper. That's all the council will hear. She closes her eyes, a hand to her temple. Many of them already presume that the refugees are somehow to blame. Did someone say refugees? Sol clanks into the docking bay, grinning at the situation. Speak of the devil, and well, here I am. His suit hisses as he settles on his cane. Helena glances between the two of you, uncertain if she has been drawn into some elaborate plan. Sol holds out a hand to her. Sol, he nods. I believe we have spoken remotely while the cordon was still up. We are all allies here, you say. Sol raised an eyebrow. It seems a little presumptuous, doesn't it? I trust you, sleeper, but Havanage has been the one seeking to hold us without charge of good reason. I am not Havanage, Helena blurts out, then corrects herself. What I mean to say is, no one represents Havanage. That's the idea. I don't support the cordon, I did not support your quarantine. Sol nods. Well then. Sol glances at you. Anyone mind if I get myself up to speed here? He pauses, but you get the feeling he isn't expecting an answer. 1. The Flux event. The very same destabilizing wave that collapsed the colonies on the moons of Ember has reached the station. He holds up a stubby finger. 2. According to the data Sleeper provided, these events are acting as a cover for some kind of intrusive protocol which is causing the real damage. A second finger joins the first. 3. This shadow protocol will do to the very same thing it did to the Ember Song, Step, and Half, and quickly. In short, it will shut down everything keeping this place alive. A third finger pops up. 4th, and this is my favourite. We have no idea who and what is doing this and why. Soul's final finger joins the other 3. Is that about the total of it at all? There's also another Flux event coming. Of course there is. Soul smiles thinly. Sounds. Helena pauses, searching for the right words. Intimidating. Helena turns to Soul. Did you manage to put up any kind of resistance on Ember's half? Soul shakes his head. That's why we are here. The Pilgrim Seed was the biggest ship to make it out unscathed. He pauses. I suppose we didn't have this data. We didn't know what was eating up the systems. We all thought it was the Flux. Helena looks at you. And I imagine you, Sleeper, and whoever helped you uncover this might be able to figure out a countermeasure. We can try, you say. Helena nods approvingly. Okay, so this is the start of it. If you forgive me, Soul cuts in. Part of why I was able to save as many as I could on Ember's half was that I gave up hope early. Soul sifts his weight, his suit hissing. There was endless strategy meetings, system reboots, tests and trials, but I just got on with working on the Pilgrim Seed, with getting people on board, so when the second and third and the rest of the Flux events hit, we were ready to go. So if I can offer some advice, Miss Not Havanage, it is to give up on that line of thought you have, that hope, and start to evacuate now. Right this cycle. Soul looks out of the observation deck towards the Pilgrim Seed. I've already started the process of converting the remaining volume of the Pilgrim Seed for human habitation. With Havanage's resources, I could dare say we could finish this job with time to spare. Soul scratches his beard. I know it's hard, and I know it's sudden, but you have to give up hope. We have to run. There will be no heroes here, just those that keep living and those that don't. Helena listens in silence, making calculations. She looks out at the bulky Pilgrim Seed, which, despite all its vastness, is dwarfed by the eye as a whole. Something flickers in her eyes. She opens her mouth to speak. She stops, frozen. Let me think. Helena rubs her temple. I need a moment. Helena paces, and as you watch her, you realise how young she is, and how lost she is in the systems and protocols she has to navigate. You can almost see the strings and ties that bind her, glinting like webs in the wide space of observation platform. We purge the Shadow Protocol, you say. Helena stops pacing. But with what resources? The data you sent me, this thing is a shadow, uncontrollable, untraceable. Perhaps with a full contingent of an added system department, that would require hundreds of work orders to be overlooked, maintenance schedules abandoned. She looks away. Getting that through the council, would that be possible? She glances at Soul, who is patiently listening. We have to try. We do it without them. Let's go with that one. Yeah, I mean, this is to save everyone, so politics be damned. We do it without them, you say. Impossible. Helena looks at the slated in. I will take this to the council, force them to listen, force them to act. You both jump as someone loudly clears their throat nearby. Your eyes jump to the dark entryway Helena emerged from just a minute ago. What a cozy little meeting this is. A man steps from the shadows, dressed in the same style of Havanage overalls as Helena, and I must say there's some very incendiary rhetoric you are using, Councillor Helena. You glance at Helena and her face drops immediately. Kemp, she curses under her breath. Soul shifts his weight on his cane, but otherwise remains still, like a casual observer. Plotting against Havanage with an interlope, he gestures at Soul. Everyone would be so disappointed. Kemp smiles a bright smile. Some of the councillors had some high hopes for your youngest member. His smile drops. I, of course, never let novelty distract from the importance of experience. Helena stares daggers at Kemp. Enough of this petty shit, Kemp. You need to see this. He holds up a slate with outstretched arm. The games are over. There's no point scoring, no more lobbying. You and your hardliners need to stop. This is something real. Kemp calmly takes a slate and prods the screen, scrolling through the flux data. His face betrays nothing, but you see some complex calculations flickering in his sharp eyes. Kemp lowers the slate slowly and smiles at Helena. What do you think this shows? Helena frowns. Don't play games. You can read. The flux is carrying a signal for some shadow protocol, most likely corporate in nature. Maybe it's Solheim re-emerging to claim the station, maybe to take over, but either way the station is under threat. You're right about that, but the rest? Conjunction. Kemp rubs their chin. What we have here is a virus in our system which emerged precisely when the flotilla arrived. In fact, it times imperfectly with the mysterious events that freed them. So what I see is a hostile cyber attack instigated by dissidents that fled Ember's moon after committing terrorism attacks on their own soil. Kemp's face darkens. That is the order of the facts. Nothing more, nothing less. Facts I'll be happy to present to the council. Kemp tightens his grip on the slate. Helena laughs. You think that's the only copy of that data, you sanctimonious shit? No, I don't. Kemp smiles. But who do you think will they listen to, Helena? Especially after I tell everyone about this little clandestine meeting. You can't win power by Havanage's systems, by our laws, so you resort to this. Kemp shakes his head. The law is with me. It's simple as that. He gestures out at the shadows to have Havanage's security officers appear. Now, no need for that. So suddenly speaks up. His silence has meant Kemp had stopped paying attention to him, but now you notice he's back up on his own. A group of his crew stand at the edge of the room. They carry long, boxy guns. You've never seen anything like them on the eye. Glossary XPR logos glint along their barrels. These are SC guns. Kemp freezes and the officers hesitate, holding back at the doorway. Be careful there, outsider, he stutters. Kill me, Havanage will never forget. Sol waves a hand at him. No one is killing anyone, so let's calm down. Sol scratches his beard. But I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Helena glances at him and gives her a gentle nod. And you will leave your colleague here with me. He raises an eyebrow. We haven't finished our conversation. Kemp laughs and shakes his head. You are finished, Helena. The Count will never allow you back after this. Then he turns and walks out the observation deck, taking his officers with him. You all pause to catch your breath. Helena looks ready to collapse. Sol flexes inside his suit, nodding at his crew to check that Kemp has finally retreated. Sol wrenches part of the suit back into place, grimacing. Your friends leave a lot to be desired. He shoots a glance at Helena. It seems like support for the evacuation might be a hard ask. Helena doesn't respond. She stares out at the Pilgrim Seed once more, trying to process what's in front of her. She sighs and turns back to you both. I won't call for an activation. She looks at Sol. Maybe that is a fatal mistake, but I can't do it. I understand, you say. But, she pauses, I won't block it either. If people want to leave, Havanage will let them. That is what I propose. That's what I propose to Council, she sighs. If they let me speak. You have to do more, you say. Easier said than done, Sleeper, she sighs. She nods at you and Sol and turns to leave. Sol is quiet. He scratches his beard. Good luck, he offers to the departing Helena, but she does not respond. He leans on his cane. I'll be honest with you, Sleeper, none of this challenge changes anything for me. Pilgrim Seed will be going in a handful of cycles, whatever Havanage wants it or not. How long, you say? Grimace says, honestly, as soon as we are we ready. I'm not eager to run down the clock to the last cycle. So put hand on your shoulder. There's a berth for you, and for any you can gather, Sleeper. That's much I owe you. And Helena? I won't hold much hope of her coming around, Sleeper. She's too tied up in all of this. I won't let her leave. It won't let her leave, even if she wants to. He eyes you. Hell, I'd say the same about you, but you have a habit of proving me wrong. My crew will take me from here. Don't worry. Sol straightens up. Oh, and thank you, Sleeper, for sending the data. I appreciate the extra info, and I'll see if it can help us soar up the Pilgrim Seed against any future flux events. If we had you back on Ember's half, he pauses, suddenly losing his appetite for discussing the past. Sol sighs. Of course, we are going to need all the help we can get. If you can spare some time, come to the Pilgrim Seed, help me get it ready, bring others. There's a future to be earned here, cycle by cycle. We will be leaving as soon as we are able. If you want to help us get there faster, well, you'll be welcome. He meets your eyes. Sol grimaces. Well, he pauses. Just don't keep me waiting, and he limps off towards his waiting crew. You pause for a moment to let your thoughts catch up. Peaky will want to hear about all of this, but it should be your first port of call. Okay, we got a drive. Evacuate the eye. The flotilla is leaving with anyone who wishes to join, but they'll need help if they want to leave before the flux hits. Help the Pilgrim Seed. Okay. Man, we're in a bad state. And we have ultra-nationalists. Probably conservatives, I don't know. Maybe it isn't. I suppose it is a form of nationalism, protective nationalism. Let's go. Just talk to Peaky. As you enter the clambering brur, you immediately have to jump aside as Essie, lugging a massive crate across the cargo bay, pushes past you, grunting and apologies. She does. Reminds me when we met, you say. Essie sniffs and doesn't look back. As you turn back into the bay, Peaky pushes past you. Sorry, sleeper, just a second. Peaky rushes to catch up Essie. Put that down, please, Essie, but she doesn't respond to his urgings. We can't leave, not yet. Peaky puts a hand on his shoulder. Please, I'm the only one here who can... The crate drops, the sound of the impact echoing around the bay like thunder. Can do what, Peaky? Her eyes are burning with anger. Save this place? Are you still that naive? We are running, Peaky. We are running because this thing cannot be stopped. It couldn't be stopped on XPR, our home. Why would we stay to stop it here? Because we can, Essie. We can give these people a chance, Peaky pleads with her. Like they gave the refugees a chance? Essie shakes her head. No, Peaky. This is not on us. We barely made it out of XPR. I worked for years to escape, and now you want to throw it all away? I left everything behind, my mother, my friends, to take you out of that place. She clenches her jaw. She turns and slams her hand onto the crate, breathing hard. We go. That's the end of it. Peaky turns away. You feel unsure of what to do, but you know now is not the time for outside arguments. This is between them. Peaky crosses the bay back towards you. I'm sorry you had to see that, sleeper, they say. Let's talk upstairs. Peaky leads you up to the entry ladder, taking you up out of the bay and into the inhabitation level of the ship. You follow them through the tight corridors, noting the handwritten notes, the clutter, the repairs, the signs for home. Here, sit. Peaky gestures to the broad mess table with its curved couches, and you slide in on one side. Peaky sits opposite. They brush their hair out of their eyes and take a deep breath. So, how did it go? What did they say? I've been waiting all cycle. Tell them about Helena, tell them about the evacuation, tell them about Kemp. Yeah, let's tell them about Kemp, because this is the main issue. Peaky looks increasingly troubled as you tell them about the hardline counsellor Kemp's sudden appearance. Damn, then Helena's going to have problems on her own to deal with. Peaky shakes their head. Looks like we won't be able to count on anything from her vantage. They pause. What stopped Kemp from arresting her? Tell them about the guns. Peaky rolls his eyes. Of course, those are the guns Essie managed to smuggle through to the refugees, the ones he didn't tell us about. Peaky sighs. Another thing that's on us. What's on us? Essie is standing quietly in the doorway listening. You didn't know how long she's been there for. Peaky looked at her with tie-dye. Sleeper found the weapons you smuggled from XPR. Essie freezes. He glances between you and Peaky as it might be some elaborate joke. The flotilla used them? Essie moves out of the way into the room. What happened? Peaky interrupts. Be thankful that they didn't. They used them as a threat, that is all. Good, Essie folds her arms. You get the feeling she knows Peaky will not approve. Peaky goes to speak, then decides not to take the bait. They glance at you. I'm sure you've heard enough of us arguing the cycle, sleeper. Peaky shoots a look at Essie. But our introduction of those weapons into the equation was just another reason why we cannot simply run away. Essie looks away but says nothing. She surely knows they cannot absolve themselves of responsibility here, so what is motivating her? You realise that she might be trying to protect Peaky, even from themselves. Suddenly a shrill beeping fills the room, and Peaky pulls out a slate to silence it. But as they do, they freeze, their finger hovering above the screen. The beeping continues its insistency. What? Peaky doesn't dare seem to hear you. They just blink with glazed eyes at the slate. Then they let out a long exhale and tap the screen. The bleeping shuts off, leaving a single ringing silence behind. Essie frowns at Peaky, planning to explain. 12 cycles. Picky looks vacant up at you. Both. 12 cycles until the next flux event. They shake their head. I have been using the arrays of the burr to look towards the centre of the system to approximate when the can channel should be. Just this moment, they detected a signal from the inner system. Given the distance and patterns of previous flux events, we have 12 cycles before it reaches the eye. The silence in the room is deafening. 12 cycles, that's it, before the second wave hits this place. Peaky interrupts your thoughts. We start now, that's the end of it. Peaky stands up to face Essie. You want to take the burn run, Essie? That's on you, but I won't do it. They take a deep breath. I'll be here, Sleeper. For every cycle it takes, trying to find a solution, I'll need your help. The eyes meet yours, and you see a wild aspiration flickering there. We will find something. The sooner we have the plan, the better. If it takes us 12 cycles to fix this thing, it'll be too late. Peaky eyes flash with determination. They reach for the slate and pass it to you, so we can keep in touch. You pocket the thin, handheld terminal. And Essie. Peaky starts, but she is gone. Storming down the corridor of the ship, on a path to who knows where. You know from experience that it is impossible to outrun your fears, but you get the sense that Essie will try anyway. Peaky rubs their red eyes, staring after Essie. Maybe I'll take a moment before we start. They smile weakly, tears of exhaustion gathering in their eyes. See you back here soon, okay? And you slip from the room into the corridor. Peaky quiet sobs somehow carry through the ship behind you as you leave. Okay. So we have that. Man, we are not in a good state. But we can make an impact of it next time. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Citizen Sleeper, and man, I wish... What I really wish is that I love this game, I love the setting, but I wish you had more interaction with the past story events. Like, why aren't characters that we've met already helping us or like talking to us? Because like they're still on the station, most of them haven't got anywhere. But that's for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-knight, and I see you again soon. Goodbye.